Greene County was carved out of what seemed to be a vast, unending wilderness by an act of the Pennsylvania legislature on February 9, 1796. America was a new country. The sky was the limit. History was waiting to be written. Along with the history that would fill the school books of children came another history as well, one not spoken of openly: the supernatural and paranormal.
Hi, my name is Kevin Paul. I'm the co-author of Haunted Hills and Hollows, What Lurks in Greene County, and its sequel, Haunted Hills and Hollows 2, Still Lurking in Greene County, Pennsylvania. My co-author was Rosemary Ellen Guiley, who is now deceased, so I did the sequel with a solo effort. I've had a lifetime of paranormal experiences, and had some that frankly required me to reevaluate my worldview. And at one point, actually, I questioned my own sanity. I didn't write the book to convince non-believers of the paranormal. It was written more to reassure people that these things are real and they're not out on the lunatic fringe, because paranormal experiences actually are quite common. People just don't talk about it. My interest in the paranormal essentially started when I was 10 years old, at least as a researcher, when the Mothman was seen in the area around Point Pleasant, West Virginia. It made the local papers here in Greene County. I can recall sitting in my grandmother's sun porch reading the article and then being terrified to walk home in the dark because I thought the Mothman was going to grab me. That was the first paranormal incident that I ever seriously researched, but I've done many since then, mainly because of a lifetime of personal experiences. And I'm sitting here right now with my Uncle Bill, who left this earth in 1978. We thought we'd stop by and say hi and talk about the book. Here we are at on the mysterious Muddy Creek Road. This stretch of road runs from a ridge not far from the Greene County Historical Society Museum towards the town of Carmichael's. It's quite active with a lot of unexplained lights, unidentified flying objects, or as they're called now, unidentified aerial phenomena. On the eastern end of Muddy Creek Road, there's been some cryptid scenes such as Dogman over towards the Gerards Ford area. And behind us on the western end of Muddy Creek Road, there's been a lot of UFO activity and strange lights in the sky. The barn behind us, this particular location, was a site. There was two cyclists here one evening. We were riding from the Carmichael's area back towards Waynesburg. One person got further ahead than the second, and the second rider came up this hill. There's an orb came down off this embankment to my left. The ball of light was about the size of a beach ball, paralleled him as he pushed his bicycle up this road. He was afraid to look at it for fear that something would happen to him if he did, so he ignored it. It eventually faded away from him, and when he got to his friend at One Armed Ladies Road, his friend had not actually seen the ball of light. These type of light phenomena have been seen a lot of places. Basically, these unexplained lights and balls of lights and orbs, not the orbs like you see in photograph, but like a flying ball of light, have really actually been seen all over the county. One of my favorite locations, it's the intersection of Muddy Creek Road and Fordyce School Road. The location where the two cyclists saw the unexplained lights is behind me, and in this direction goes towards the village of Fordyce. That's close to where in the first book Art Huck saw a UFO sitting on the ground, and for the second book he agreed to do regressive hypnosis and gave us more details on what actually happened. So it's really quite fascinating. He saw some really unusual things, what I guess you would say were alien beings, kind of had an out-of-body experience, saw something that resembled an owl but really wasn't. If you follow Fordyce School Road down to Fordyce Hill and up to Temple Ridge Road, which isn't very far from here, that's where Art was, but he was looking back this way towards this hill behind us where the UFO actually was. So this is a great place, a lot of activity here. It's part of the Pennsylvania State game land, so it's public access, and you could come out here and take a look for yourself at your leisure. We are on Sugar Camp Road. Sugar Camp Road is the home of the local legend of the Guiding Hand. If you travel down this road towards the Prison Hill Road, near the intersection of the two roads is the area where the Guiding Hand is present. It's said that when you walk along the road, there will be an unseen and mysterious hand to hold one of your hands and escort you. You turn off of Sugar Camp Road, up Prison Hill Road, and go towards the former Youth Development Center and the administration building. There's also a lot of haunted activity there, a character that the guards at the time nicknamed Guggenheim that would do prank phone calls and other mysterious things. He would be heard walking loudly, and a lot of times whoever was on midnight shift and staffing the desk in the administration building would think someone was coming down the hall, and they would turn to speak to someone whose ever footsteps they heard, and there was never anyone there. So they attributed that to Guggenheim. When I first started looking into this, I contacted the psychic Lindsay Miller, who lives in Armstrong County. And the first report I got from her, when she looked at the aerial photographs, she described essentially earlier been told was a goat man that is on Sugar Camp Road. So I sort of feel that maybe we're talking about the same entity. Wouldn't necessarily be human. I'm thinking it's probably a non-human that haunts here. This is a good location to remind everyone to not trespass when you're investigating paranormal sites. While we are technically on the property, we have not crossed the barrier established with the no trespassing signs, so we're not in the restricted area, but you should always get the landowner's permission before you do an investigation. There's two things that are really important that you have to do when investigating a paranormal site. One is make sure you have the permission of the landowner or the property owner. And another is you need to protect yourself. Some of these entities do have the capability of attaching themselves and following you home. It is important to check with the entities if you can before you start. Yeah, it's important to explore these sites because for a lot of reasons. One, the spirit world's all around us and always is. It's a part of the regional and local lore that could and can and possibly will be lost. The spirits don't necessarily have to be there. Sometimes they will be and sometimes they won't. But it's an opportunity to get out and see part of rural southwestern Pennsylvania that's still relatively unspoiled in comparison to other locations. Just experience it for yourself. Sharpen your own skills.
Check out visitgreene.org for a complete list of haunted sites in Greene County.